hero now.
Yeah, it can remove the corrosive haze, but Slaughter is also quite good versus because you ideally want to pick Fate's the Oracle also just for Fate's Edict, so like the negation of magic damage. But Slaughter is he just amplifies physical and gives you more physical kind of combo. Yeah. And these two heroes are very like single target kind of damage. It's just the Oracle who deals damage. Tree doesn't really deal too much damage.
In the team fights, however, these two heroes I would say does not provide too much in terms of damage. That's why the general combination with Trian would be CM, because at least CM can actually do some amount of good damage if you're allowed to just cast your ultimate for a long time.
Yeah. How direct of a counter is Oracle for Darkseer?
It's really good in the lane, because usually what you'll do is spam 2 Ion Shells on the creep wave, but they're grouped together, and Oracle's Purge ability is a AoE. So if you just nuke the double Ion Shell, the lane becomes normal, and Darkseer normally needs to push that lane to get a fast 2 that is survivable.
Yeah,
understood.
So you have to play around it different ways, like separate the Ion Shells.
They banned Bloodseeker though, and they are a team who consider Bloodseeker as a counter to like DP.
And DP with Slardar is incredibly powerful. Corrosive Haze. Yeah, the Fortune's End on the Oracle also works really well against the Darkseer Surge. If he's trying to just book it out of there, you can purge the Surge off.
I like the Huskar ban though. Making sure that there's nothing that can catch them out, because right now they're feeling really comfortable with their opening, and for some reason, like in Liquor Shoes, they would think for some reason the Oracle has been picked, not only just for the Darkseer.
Yeah.
There might be a cheese coming in or some combination of heroes. So making sure that they're not going to be caught out by some Oracle Huskar. There's still other combinations, but this one might be the ones that are more harder to deal with.
They banned the Void.
Enchantress.
It's a really good hero for pressuring lanes at the start of the game.
Oh my god.
It's actually so good versus Oracle and Tree.
Their two supports actually can't do anything towards Enchantress. I mean, this is one of the things where when you don't have a CM, all these Chen Enchantress early game, oh my god. You can't really do much to the creeps. So basically what's going to happen right now is they're going to try to, maybe if they can, block as much camps as possible against the Enchantress, and they need to scout her out. Because wherever the Enchantress goes, she's just going to destroy that lane. There's nothing the Trian and Oracle can do against the Enchant and the creep.
Yep.
We've only seen one Enchantress from Liquid the entire tournament. That was actually versus LFY.
I would say the only way that Tree Oracle are good in this case is that they can at least heal up their allies, so they can kind of negate the Enchantress gank a little. But
I'm worried that they might have the same problem like the last game. They won't be able to play Dota at all because the early game will be so hard.
Yep.
I'm just worried that might happen.
Did Kuroki play that last Enchantress? Can you check that?
I'll get that for you.
I'm pretty sure he did, because that's his roaming style. So I'd assume so. Batrider being picked up for Universe.
I mean, at least they're trying to figure things out, how to at least have heroes that can deal with the pressure. Batrider doesn't really mind too much if Enchantress goes to his lane.
Yeah, maybe they're also they're trying to put their own kind of pressure, right? Tree Batrider, they can maybe just accept the fact that their safe lane's going to be a nightmare and then just put pressure on the opposite one.
It's about who loses their safe lane harder.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was actually GH who.
It was GH who played the Enchantress. Yeah. Okay.
So they go for the Juggernaut, pretty much like very solid draft. Good lanes, everything good. Got push, got team fight.
It's really good against Tree ulti too.
Yeah.
Once you get Manta.
Ursa, good counter pick against Juggernaut.
And Enchantress.
Very good, yeah. Very good hero against those two.
Where's it going though?
Sorry?
Where's it going?
I mean, they are just trying to pick really good matchups if they can survive the laning phase. If they survive the laning phase, their heroes are really good against what Liquid have. The laning phase is going to be the primary problem here. Can they get away with it?
They have burst with the lasso, but EG's team fight still looks incredibly underwhelming.
The last hero probably going to bind things together. A damage hero. Still though, how are they going to deal with the lanes though? I'm trying to...
She gets a little out of position.
You need to do it the other way around. You want the Batrider to go to the Enchantress lane. Because the Enchantment, he comes with a creep. It doesn't matter if your Ursa can kill the You're not going to be able to touch him in most cases.
You can't get to him.
Yeah, you can't get to the
thing.
Enchantress. The creep will be in front, like 2 creeps coming in. Then what are you gonna do? If you're a Bat Rider, you're gonna be able to Firefly, drag the entire creep wave away, and stop him from like getting the tower too quickly. But if you're Ursa, you're just basically gonna sit down there and you can't do anything.
And you'll get dived eventually after they cut
Yeah.
their creep wave.
If anything, you definitely want to avoid that lane. They remove the Razor, like a good lane.
It's the second
Good,
ban.
good
isn't
hero
it?
in the lane. Good against Juggernaut. I mean, decent against Juggernaut.
Quap is
Okay,
pulled
so
out.
Quap. They are trying to reduce the lanes that the Enchantress can gank. So Quap is another lane that Enchantress can't really do too much. So it's basically the most problem would be caused on the Ursa's lane. So if they can actually deal with that, block the camps, level 1 TP out has to like do like some scout all the time. Make sure that he knows that where is the Enchantress heading and where is the Enchantress going. That would be really crucial for EG's success.
Quap's also good against a potential lone druid mid too, if they end up putting Miracle on Jug. Because even if she gets Savage Ward, she can usually blink to catch up.
Wow. This is going to be
A liquid draft, yeah.
Another-
Juggernaut, Lone Druid.
Wow. I'm definitely a bit concerned for EG.
Yeah, I'm really worried. This Enchantress has been a pick that is causing so much problems right now in the draft phase for EG. They need to be very, very careful. I'm not sure if they can actually get away with it in the early game.
This is going to be Sumail's 10th unique hero drawn now as he takes another, this time a Queen of Pain, for this tournament. Adds another one, double digits. The only heroes he's played twice is Lina and Storm Spirit. So now we see another for Sumail, Mr. Diverse. Is to play with Universe, try and bring home the draw. What are you thinking? Doubt.
H2O, 2-0, liquid.
H2O.
Oh, God! That,
Oh, wait,
you
wow.
see the levels to that?
I didn't even get that one. It took me like a couple seconds.
H2O.
Wow, that's a good one.
Fudge nuggets.
I'm
That's
definitely
a
gonna
good-
go with Liquid though as well.
Yeah.
I agreed that the liquid draft is better, but I have a feeling that EG is gonna. They're in rage mode now. This is where Sumail plays well. I have a tiny feeling that they're gonna
Yeah.
pick this one.
Well, you heard it from Winter, because that is far too smart for something I could come up with. Will it really be H2O for Liquid, or will we see them level it out to 1-1? Let's find out with your casters.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Alex. And indeed, let's find out that game 1, 17 minutes. We don't talk about that. It doesn't count. We're ignoring that one. It was a mess. It was a disaster for EG. And obviously an incredible spectacle for Liquid. Game 2, is it going to end in 17 minutes, Ben?
Well, I don't think it'll end up like game number 1.
Okay.
How to lose Dota in 17 minutes, 101. Now it's give Liquid a wisp.
Yeah.
They first banned it out this phase. They talked a lot about the Enchantress, and that's definitely who we're going to be watching. Hopefully, the Russian ops will be able to follow sprightly fellow.
Yeah, there's
Moose
gonna be a lot of movements.
might be too fast for his camera movements. I don't know.
We'll see, Ben. We will see. Do you agree with the panel the way that the EG saw the Enchantress and they picked heroes like the Quap that are kind of able to evade those movements?
The Quap and the Battle Bear, though.
Yeah, Matsuma Mana. The EG answer. On the Matsuma Mana low jump.
I'm worried about him feeding.
Oh, you're worried?
2 heroes to deal with the Enchantress, but there's only one of them that are super vulnerable. I mean, barring the supports, but
Okay.
it's more so that you want to kill the cores. So I am worried about this Ursa Bear. Bear on bear action.
In Russia. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect and more. Yeah, absolutely. We've got it here in this grand finals. Game 2, of course, EG versus Liquid. Here we have it. As we go through the 5 of them. Liquid.
There's none of the crazy cosmetics. Lardar doesn't have the crazy one. Bat Rider doesn't have the C1.
No, everyone's going in vanilla today, Ben.
Sure is.
Apart from Arto, he's got it. He's got the
Oh,
flashy
okay.
cosmetics. He's got cosmetics to cater for the whole game.
Alpine Ursa.
Alpine Ursa. There we have a Universe on his back. As mentioned, definitely a hero that's going to be evade some of the action in the lane, but yeah, we'll see how much they put in terms of pressure onto RTZ this time. And we'll see where EG wants to take their lanes. At the moment, it looks like EG are wanting to go aggressive down on the bottom lane with their tri-lane.
I think the Darkseer with the Enchantress might be too much for him because Darkseer always pushes in the lane, which makes it really, really easy for them to dive with the Enchantress. The only problem now is the Oracle's not matched up versus the Darkseer. So Darkseer is going to get a lot. Darkseer versus bad lanes is a farm on farm lane, but they can't do anything about it.
And what about the mid lane matchup? Lone Druid versus the Quap. Farm on farm, or is there kill potential? Farm on farm.
Very little kill potential. Savage Roar owns.
Bottom lane. Bit of a go here onto GH with the root. Zai punching him down. And do you like this decision as well? Why have Liquid taken Miracle to the safe lane and put Matuma mid for this game? What is the matchup they're trying to avoid or they're trying to find?
Well, Lone Druid versus Quap. There's not that many laners that match up well versus Quap. I would say Lone Druid is one of the best because your bear is just so tanky and you have a lot of damage. So like Quap's kind of forced to do something in the lane because you're generally going to get out CS. And then yeah, this does leave the problem where you have two melee heroes versus an Ursa and a Treant in the bottom lane.
I was going to say, it's looking a bit messy there for Miracle, really.
You might get a chicken kill.
Down.
Look at the chicken on EG. It's sitting right next to T3. It's chilling there. They don't want it to die. Enchantress is one of the best heroes at killing it because she has a lot of range and very fast move speed early in the game.
GH in trouble. In fact, there's that range creep blocked him in. Oh, as he can still get around it, but nonetheless, I mean, as you said, just this double melee lane, really suffering. At the moment, Zai. Let's see if you get the courier, but not quite with the movement speed there. They have brought Kuroki down here, though. So Liquid with the 3-man now. We'll see if that's going to make things any better down on this bottom lane in this early stage of the game.
He doesn't have that many camps to work with. He's actually forced to re-enchant his Mud Golem so that he can have some sort of lane pressure right now. He wasn't able to go for the chicken kill, didn't get any bounty runes, hasn't secured a safe lane or the mid lane. So Enchantress seems like a liability, at least in the first 2 minutes of the game.
And talking about not getting any bounty runes, there's Zai stealing GHs from right under his nose there in Liquid's jungle. Mid lane at the moment, Sumail certainly having a good time. 12 for 5 against the 6 for 2 of Matuma Man. So outlaning the Lone Druid at the moment in this middle lane. Top lane.
He has a double null versus the Quelling Blade. Bear actually has more damage if he times both of his pits perfectly, but Sumail usually has the edge in the mid lane.
Miracle as well, losing out to RTZ in terms of farm. A lot of pressure being put onto this jug. Has to be careful. En route and a couple of swipes will certainly hurt. As again, forced back from the wave. RTZ and Zai keeping full control of this bottom lane.
Keep in mind, this is not the best thing for EG because they...
Oh, in mid lane. Oh, he's going to get the kill in return. At least what GH will be there for it. He tried to save himself with the Savage Draw. At the same time, though, bottom. The Kuroki just gets nuked out. They close in. The creep. They have one nuke.
Oh man, Enchantress has actually committed to a stick this early in the game. Good versus Batrider, but she hasn't been in the Batrider's lane at all. Enchantress is suffering a lot.
Sumail's going to be so scary this game with this start he's had. Level 6, as she says, still with that haste rune in the bottle. Plays are certainly there. For the potential for EG to make. Top lane, mind control. Definitely having the laners what you'd expect, as you mentioned, just trading farm evenly with Universe. Pretty much neck on neck as it comes to the last inning at the moment. Useful with the rotations, as we've seen early on. Very hard for GH really to find a place to find his effect felt. The early levels on the Slardar mid lane, Samel getting rooted. He's got that sound, sorry, the haste root. And in fact, just turns to harass around the mid lane.
He's been forced to heal with his bear a couple of times already. And Kuro's looking for somewhere to gank with his Enchantress, but he can't find anything.
Talking about ganking, Zai has his eyes on the middle lane. He's wrapped around. Samael a little low on the mana, so won't have enough for the full combo as such. And looks like Zai doesn't see a good enough opportunity for him to make a move as of yet, until at least he sees the revealing of the rest of Liquid's movements. And bottom lane, they're going to find out pretty shortly. It's Kuroki and GH ready to make a beeline straight in onto Artur. They've got the Troll Trap into the Crush, the Blade Fury as well. It's going to be more than enough to bring down RTT. Liquid, the successful rotation, blaming the kill onto the Ursa.
Big kill by them. I think Zai was attempting to scout it out, but he actually TP'd to the top shrine, wrapped around behind mid, dropped the ward, and he wasn't anywhere close to the bottom side of the map. I think Tree can nullify a lot of Enchantress's presence in this early game. Although she is one with nature, Tree has the edge.
Absolutely. And as you said, just certainly the kind of movements we need to start seeing out from Liquid to slow down the force that EG is getting together here in these first 7 minutes. Mid lane is being eyed up by GH. They can get a root, could provide the chance for them to get in. In fact, he may just get the crush out. Right, Samel holding back the blink, will still get back, but Kuroki's there, ready and waiting for him with the creeps. And they claim themselves the kill. At the same time, though, Miracle was brought down by the combination of Crit and Ursa. Him and Arteezy having enough lockdown to claim the kill. Mid lane though, Liquid not stopping the slaughter. They close in onto Zai, creeps around him. Matumba, Kuroki and GH move in. And they will claim a second out of this.
Finally, Bambi has found her footing, ganking the Quap. That was a perfect positioning by Enchantress there. And you have to wonder whether or not these EG wards are really doing them any good. Enchantress has not been in the area at all, and that's the main area you're concerned about in this early game. They have one near the T1 on bottom, and then one in between the T1 and T2 in mid. But Enchantress is playing around this bottom bounty rune and rune area, and I don't even think she blew a smoke to catch out Samel.
A bit of a there from the crowd as Miracle does fail the stack. Back down on the bottom river. GH trying to come in to look for the rune, but a lot of control from EG around that area. Samel with that regen rune in the ball. Definitely chances for him to make something happen with that. Looks to build up the Veil first. Bottom lane, Arteezy getting some pressure on the tower. GH, the only one around in the neighborhood at the moment. Soaking up that XP, trying to get himself towards the 6. Just have to be careful how close he gets to the bear, and especially with Zai heading down here as well, there could be kill potential here for EG if GH isn't careful.
If Tree can get his dirty hands on him, but he's way too close to the tower. Or not.
They've come a little too far away now. There we have, the root is up. He's already used the crush, using the sprint to get himself away, and in fact the TP will spook EG. They'll back away, mind control in with the rotation. Kuroki's there as well. See if you can grab anyone with a vacuum, but it's not going to be the case. Zai already out, as well as the rest of them, away from that tree line, and EG will avoid this rotation from Liquid.
Tree might have gotten his move speed nerfed, but still with Nature's Guy just way too fast for these jokers.
And instantly as well, Arteezy moving up to the top lane, realizing that Miracle may be a little vulnerable now. They do have Lasso, of course, up on Universe. If they can get a Lasso into the overpower Fury swipes of Ursa, definitely a chance for them to bring down the Juggernaut. And a rotation from Samel as well could spell something big for EG. He has that TP now sent out to him, so he's ready with the Sonic Wave to react to any sort of plays that Liquid go for near EG see it once.
This is not good for EG though. EG are supposed to be ahead in this part of the game. They have two of their cores are huge lane. Dominator's Queen of Pain and Ursa, but because of the way that Liquid laned with the low druid in the mid, Queen of Pain can't really win that lane that hard, even though Sumail did get first blood. That's pretty unexpected, and he did die in response.
Kuroki will see if he can play his way out of this one. Sumail does have the Sonic Wave. He's holding on to it at the moment. Doesn't seem to want to expend it just for the Enchantress, and Kuroki will be allowed to walk away. Doesn't want to risk it, especially with Kuro holding on to stick charges in the Soul.
Yeah, he's scared that he might have some like ninja creep there.
And just goes for the quick Corrosive Haze, forcing Sumail to back up by the looks of it. Regen up that mana and getting himself into a better fighting shape to get to another lane. But this is giving more and more space for Matumba, and indeed, as you said, even though Sumail has that lead, it's not necessarily a massive one. Matumba still certainly keeping up with the farm on this mid lane on the Lone Druid. And as we can see, EG got a little bit of a slight lead very early on, but it's evening out. And Liquid with, in fact, the edge in experience at the moment.
So both teams about to get a big team fight. And we see the Blink Dagger 300 gold away on the Bat Rider, and then we see the Met also about 300 gold away on the Darkseer. So things are going to start erupting quite quickly. Matumba Man probably going to go for a Midas, but I think he's the only guy that's going to go for a farming item this game on Liquid.
There's little GH trying to sort of tease Sumail away with the crush potential. Crit hiding in the trees, but I believe it was spotted out by Kuroki's neutrals as he moved them across. Crit and Zai now here looking to hold. They want to try and do something with the Sonic Wave. In fact, they just pop it straight up. Does catch Kuroki, but it's not going to be enough to kill him. GH now comes back in with a response, gets the crush, and secures the chance for Kuroki to finish off the tier 1 with the creeps. Universe comes across a little too late as he doesn't find the chance to find that lasso, and that's going to be towered down in the middle lane. Sonic Wave used to at the end of the day, getting no kill at all, and that was with EG having 4 members around the middle lane, and they couldn't stop the push from Liquid.
And now Liquid have to be much happier about their Roche contention capabilities. I think they have good scouting with the Enchantress creeps, who you don't really care about their lives at all. Just throw him in the pit, scout Roche out, and the main thing you have to worry about is his Bat Rider. He just got his Blink Dagger. He was trying to farm in the last fight, and Liquid knew that the timing was around perfect for them.
And say if he had that a little earlier, that mid 5% they've got a lot differently.
It's really hard to gank low Druid though, because if you lasso the Druid, you can recall your bear, and then, or you can just like Savage Roar everyone else. You can still Savage Roar while your lasso is the point. So it's not the best game for Bat because Juggernaut's also in the game. It was really good in laning phase as we saw, but now Universe has to deliver if EG want to secure Roach.
Bottom lane, EG setting up behind Arteezy as he looks to finish off this tier 1 tower, ready for any sort of reaction that comes out from Liquid, but as the time stands, they are just looking for the trade. Pressure's down to the top tier 1, Miracle looking for the final touch, he'll claim it. So a simple tier 1 for tier 1 trade at the moment, and Liquid actually, by the looks of it, maybe ready to move in for more. They're eyeing up that tier 2 on the top lane, seeing if they can poke out a response from Evil Geniuses.
This is still beneficial for Liquid. They're getting the better Roche towers, and that's, I think, what this like 10 to 20 minute phase of the game revolves around.
In fact, they found Zai here. Pop down one sentry, Zai holds the back with the overgrowth, but in fact, Miracle jumps straight out of it there with the Omni Slash and the Blade Fury to force Zai away from the tree here.
I'm surprised Crit didn't cast Fate's Edict on him. I think he maybe didn't have enough range, it looked like, at that fight. Kill rune if they want to take a team fight, but they have no catch right now with Bat Rider still farting on neutral camps and the Treant already dead.
And certainly, as you said, could be an issue. The fact that 14 minutes in, even though Sumail had a good start in 1 kill, the action just hasn't been high. And as we can see, definitely favouring that of Liquid. Matumba Man now top of the net worth. And something to help him out. He'll look to try and root mind control and hold him back. Arteezy pops the enrage, but Liquid, they're ready to fight this. Miracle surged up, Blade Furying as he chases down Crit. Has got the magic immunity there with the Fortune's End. So they won't get the kill immediately. Now Sumail looking to respond to this one. Jumps forward. Hasn't quite got the mana for the Sonic Wave. Now he has. As the regen rune ticks in, will jump forward again. Has he got the damage to bring these two down? Miracle still being backed up by mind control and Kuroki. Sumail, he's got to do something bit. Can he actually? He can't. And unless he wants to jump in even deeper, but he's got to be scared of what Liquid could have in backup. Samel just
Sai
doesn't
might
find
find
the
Kuro,
chance.
though.
Bottom lane as well, Liquid, they're finding the action. Universe will lasso the bear, but the root comes through, GH comes in with a crush, and Universe is brought down.
Most unfortunate timing, but EG's teamwork is non-existent right now. The Batrider still has not lassoed a hero, and they need more kills right now. They're losing complete control of the Dire jungle. Maybe they can get this Kuro kill, though.
And they will. And with the overpower and the enrage, nothing to hold back the swipes of the bear, so that's something. But still, this is, I mean, Liquid, the confidence there as well. I think we saw, even on that escape, when Samel was chasing down Miracle, he still pauses to drop an item to get the most out of his stick charges, maximum efficiency to make sure that Samel...
Also canceled his regeneration rune. He would have had enough mana to burst with the veil, but...
Look at this up top again. By Liquid, the wall is down. He's troll trapped up. Miracle still has that Omni Slash available. The ult will come through onto Artur. The damage will still tick down. The question is if EG can have the heals to offset the damage that this side of Liquid do, and they do. They'll keep RTZ alive, and now the turnaround comes through. They'll bring down Miracle. Now they'll look for more. The root will be there to hold back Kuroki. The overpower, is he going to be there? Doesn't need it. The slow right clicks fly through as EG. They get the double for RTZ. Sorry, when flies through to mind control, and they'll find themselves the third. Evil Geniuses with the right response to Liquid as they get over aggressive there with the Omni Slash from Miracle, thinking that they can bring down Arteezy, but great control and play from Crypt, making sure that the Purifying Flame heals were to be enough to keep Artur alive and enable him to turn around with the team.
They have a really hard time killing people through the False Promise, though. You have to keep in mind they have Leech Seed and the Living Armor on top of the Purifying Flames. Yeah, there's just incredible amounts of heal coming out. Not to mention Lifesteal from Ursa. He threw a lot of Fury Swipe stacks onto the Juggernaut, so he also had that extra little bit of heal, which pushed him over the edge, and they also didn't get the wall when they were on Ursa, but that wouldn't have made a big difference at all because Ursa's illusions hardly do any damage whatsoever.
Very, very big fight here for Evil Geniuses, and we will be able to catch the replay here. And indeed, it looked like Artur in a whole world of trouble, but there we have it. As you said, everything, all the heals being sent his way, and that False Promise ensuring that the damage that Liquid was done was entirely counteracted by that healing output that Evil Geniuses have.
Yeah, they thought they could take a fight with a mech. I think it was a pretty good call for them. They just want to create a little bit of space so that Lone Druid can farm. But after conceding one big fight, Arteezy heads straight inside of the Roshan pit.
Let's see what Liquid can do about this. They look like they are aware of this. We'll see if Kuroki does indeed send in the creep to scout it out, and he has. So Liquid know what's up. The question is, can they contest it in time? Mind Control's heading over. He does have the wall back and available. Arteezy for the time being, he's manning up. He's fully committing. He has got the back of his team. In fact, Universe jumps in, but immediately there the crush. And Omni Slash in response, he's brought down. They do finish off the Roshan. Arteezy does have the Aegis, but they've lost the bat. Liquid, can they get anything more? Miracle, surge forward with the Blade Fury. Finds Sai, holds the bat with the Overgrowth, but GH jumps across. He gets the crush. Arteezy response comes in, but there's the 3-man vacuum wall. Sai in trouble. The Images fly through, forcing Sai back up the high ground, but they have the Shrine. EG will be able to keep Sai alive for the time being. Middle lane, Arteezy getting peeled away from the rest of his team. Samel does have that Arcane Rune. He still has the Sonic Wave. They'll keep Arteezy safe. Top, Zai being kept alive by the Fortune's End. Again, Crypt making sure that the tree has the magic immunity to keep himself alive. And EG, they want to go back in. Samel's got the blink up. Arteezy as well with his blink dagger, ready to close the gap. And Matumba's there to make sure that they're held back. Savage Roar to put an end to that of EG's. And Evil Geniuses getting some serious momentum off that top tier fight, and now getting that Roshan and protecting the Aegis. Arteezy still has it.
Yes, and that was a very excellent vacuum wall combo from Darkseer. I think more importantly than anything, though, Queen of Pain and the rest of EG were able to play it very well. Like, he keeps having these runes, too. These arcane runes just make it impossible to catch her without the blink dagger. And that was the blink reveal coming out on Sardar, that he was able to get that really quick crush on Universe. Universe has not had the impact that I thought he would on in this mid game. His net worth is starting to fall off. He is the last of the cores.
I mean, I guess at the least, Universe sort of did his job there in the sense of kind of jumping into Liquid and just keeping them outside of the pit for those last final moments for Arteezy to claim the Aegis.
He did his job. They wanted a clean kill inside the pit. He was about to kill Roche, take the Aegis, and then kill whoever he lassoed, but that was not as clean-cut as EG would have liked, and Oracle was way too far away to save them. And now they still need to keep the pressure on EG. They have recovered, I would say, from the early game after that one big team fight, and they have the Roche, but still, that's not enough with these mid-game heroes.
Yeah, they want a team fight, and they're going to be searching for it. Smoke around as they move in for the high ground. GH there, maybe there to dispel it. Sprinting past them all, jump forward. They found GH. He'll get the last off before the crush, and GH brought down. The mech not enough to save him. Again, mind control with the three-man vacuum walls. But the Ursa turns straight towards mind control. The overpower Fury swipe stacking up, and mind control's gone. The Sonic Wave flies through, catches two, but the healing wall is out for Liquid. Healing them back up, and now Matumba trying to force them back with the bear. Kuroki with the creep control holds Arteezy in place. Being careful how they move in on this one. They know that bear's still got that Aegis. They're bringing him down for the heals again from EG, from that overgrowth and the living armor, holding them back and allowing Arteezy to be kept alive.
Far superior positioning by EG, claiming the high ground and killing their main initiator before the fight starts. That was the debut of the Radiance coming out from the Lone Druid, but it was just not enough damage versus massive heal.
We're in trouble though. Will be jumped upon, crushed as well. EG on the high ground, can they help Crit out? He'll false promise himself. Arteezy turning towards Miracle. Miracle still has an Omni Slash. He'll be kept alive. He'll have to get himself away. Now GH jumps in, finishes off the job onto Arteezy and pops that Aegis on the side. Samael will peel Kuroki off. See if Liquid see the chance to go back in for more. Matumba Man ready to start getting the push on now in this mid lane. He's amounted to a lot of high value here on this Ursa, on this Lone Druid. Talking about the Ursa, just a quick pause. Looks like there's a little bit of a lag situation at the moment.
Lag.
Carly. But this game, well, we made it past the 17-minute mark, Ben. Now 21 minutes in. EG
Kudos to EG.
with the lead with kills, but certainly could go either way. We're about to see how much of a push Liquid can get off, and this is in fact with a man down. As Matumba Man looking indeed very stacked. Samael is of course still at the top of the net worth. We're seeing how hard it is for Kuroki and such to play around in these fights with these high amounts of burst damage coming through from the Queen of Pain and from the Oracle, and even to an extent from Arteezy with that overpower, fighting through the passive.
Oracle's doing a lot of, he's casting his spells very well.
Yeah.
Like his Fate's Edicts are at the perfect time. His False Promise almost always saves someone, and he almost bursts people down with the Purifying Flame. So, yeah, this fight, they kill GH immediately at the start. And they have the Observer Ward on the high ground, and the Lone Druid Bear, it's good at like stopping blinks, but that's irrelevant because Universe already uses ultimate, and is good at whittling people down, but Leech Seed and Purifying Flames is very good at healing up from this sort of bear damage that they have. But they can turn on the push, turn it up.
And they've got a good amount of push as well. With Matumba Man's bear chomping away at the tower. So you have to certainly be wary though of that living armor. If they don't get that tower in one push, Zai certainly will be able to get it back up to full health. Looks like that will be the case here as Liquid back off. And Evil Genius is grouped up at the moment. We'll see what their next move is to be. And as quick as they group, looks like they'll split again, just making sure that they can keep up in terms of farm, make sure that Arteezy remains in a good place. We'll see what he does build into. Did have the Desolator queued up earlier.
These poor supports, they're going to be in for a rough time. Kuro has very low net worth, and he's countered by the Ursa and the Quap.
And Liquid, they've scanned this out. They know someone's here. And we'll jump forward straight away on GH. I think they'll be aware it was Zai now. As they don't find anyone else. The ping is coming through. Zai, just keeping himself hidden in the tree line. Can they hunt him down? They're going to look for it. In fact, oh, is that a blind crush? That was a blind crush. They got him, but they got detection to put down for the kill.
You see the TP.
Ah, okay. Nonetheless, finding him there hidden in the corner.
It's a lot of wasted time. So now the Defusal Blade comes out. This makes Oracle's life so much more difficult when he can't face Edict himself. And also, the slow is really important too, but it's... Miracle's got to that point where he can deal with the Oracle, and I think they should have enough tools to kite the Ursa. It's still a game of whether or not Mind Control can get a big ultimate off and if EG can counterplay it.
GH here trying to dive behind the tier 2, but Universe will be there with the counter. Pulling him back with the lasso. RTZ moving on to GH will bring down the Slardar. Crit keeps himself alive with the false promise. RTZ now turning towards Kuro. Zai and Universe getting him around on the sidelines. In fact, though, in the middle of it all, Sumail jumped in, takes a full slash from Miracle.
That diffusal blade was so fast coming out on that Yule Scepter. Oh my goodness.
RTZ seeing if he can bring down the bear with the root. Got a good chance, and he'll get it. Plus 300 gold here for Ursa. But they've lost 2 so far in this attempt to push, but they're still sticking around. Miracle closing back in onto RTZ Matumba, looking for a potential route. The vacuum back into Kuroti stone there with the Centaur. They caught out RTZ. RTZ down. Zion Universe still hanging around on the sideline, but they're not going to want to jump into that, as Liquid will clean up the tier 2.
That's a big course down. Universe has been very fast on lassoing GH. I am very surprised at how quickly he's able to do that. And once they take down GH, it becomes so much harder for Liquid to fight. I'm surprised they stuck around, but with some excellent coordination, they were able to chain the vacuum into the Centaur Stun to actually have some sort of secondary initiation. That's what caught EG off guard. Also, the Diffusal Blade killing Sumail early on in the fight.
Dagger. Now for mind control. Middle lane. Timber. See if he could get that cheeky first hit route.
Oh, and can you guess the only hero with no deaths in this game?
The only hero that I haven't seen die, I want to say... Oh, Ben, that's a hard question.
You don't have the scoreboard in front of you. No cheating,
I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating it. Is it mind control?
Nope.
No. Zai.
Nope.
No.
It's crit.
It's crit.
I don't know how crit has no deaths on Oracle.
I was going to say, to be fair, he has false promised himself a few times.
Yep, but he still hasn't died.
For sure, yeah, give him credit. Give the man credit.
He just has arcane boots and earn, and he's still not dying to this lineup. It's pretty incredible. I don't know what the Russian ones mean, do you?
Apparently that one means it's a GG.
It's GG.
Yeah.
I know some of the Chinese ones.
What was that Chinese one?
Sunstrike.
Sunstrike. There we have it. International memes.
They just yell a lot. They're like, Sunstrike! Sunstrike!
That's kind of what I do.
You have more finesse than that. Don't shoot yourself down.
Top lane Liquid claim another tier 2. EG not looking to form any sort of a defense outside of the map up there.
Add more creeps to the mix. Hellbear on Bear on Bear.
All the bears.
So Roshan number 2 coming up very soon. Liquid played incredibly well from the 20-minute phase to the 26-minute phase. That was the time where I thought EG would be able to get a good grip on this game, committing with the Aegis, but maybe some sort of lag coming out that caused him to lose his first Aegis is going to be...
This could be huge though. Look at this. They found Miracle with the lasso, and they got the damage to bring down the Sonic Waves there. Miracle being kept alive. No! Finally falls. Great way for EG to start the fight, and they're not done. RTZ blinks in, finds a second on the sideline. Purifying Flames bursts down a third.
Hello,
EG finally fall. What a fight for them there. As instantly, Universe ready to react to the fact that GH blinked in and crushed the creeps to look to farm them. And the fact that at the same time, Ben, Roshan's up. So not only an incredibly good team fight, a Roche, an Aegis, and a Cheese, 2 evil geniuses, and Liquid.
This is the trade-off for Crit playing very well in the early game. They're like, this Oracle is a very, very big problem. And because of that, Juggernaut has to commit to a Diffusal first. He could have lived if he had the Manta
If he had the Manta, yeah, absolutely.
But the Orchid came out perfectly onto Miracle, and he has a lot of HP. He has 1440 HP, but still ends up dying to this amount of burst.
Look at this. I think definitely GH will be kicking himself for not still having a Blink Crush available to react to Miracle being lassoed.
Yeah, he cannot show himself.
No.
They do have the Darkseer backing wall, but without the Slaughter Blink, it's underwhelming.
Where's the follow-up?
Yeah.
There's no sort of AoE control, unless there's a creep.
Yep. But that takes a lot of foresight. Trying to beat Oracle in the Foresight game, it's not going to happen.
Especially when you're trying to do it against an Oracle.
He sees
such as
everything.
Let's see what they can do here, Liquid. And we'll respond to this. They've got the deny. But EG really solidifying their their grip here in game 2. Much.
Ooh, an early gem. That's exciting. You don't see that very often anymore. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think
this is the right game to do it.
It's weird because they don't have any Invis heroes on their side, but they know that this is the time. This mid game is supposed to be EG's greatest strength. They didn't have a good early game, and they've been playing very well in the mid game to come back, but they still need a little bit more. And they need to shut down any sort of map control that they get from Liquid. They need to make sure that this Enchantress has nowhere to farm. You want her to just die to like 4 hits from the Ursa into the later game. He's going for a Desert, so that's definitely a possibility pretty soon. And it's at the same time, it's a little bit risky. If you lose a gem, this tree is going to get destroyed. But at the same time, if you keep it, this tree can have a huge game because they won't be able to see him unless they buy tons and tons of dust. So Cheese up on Queen of Pain.
Sumail, he's got to be careful with this. His sentry has just been placed up on the cliff. So he really does not want to make a move up on it unless he has the backup necessarily. He does have Universe coming in with the grab onto Kuroki. GH with the response, gets the 2-man crush. Kuro gets bursted down. The Sonic Wave's there. Now looking to jump forward for more. There'll be the surge to try and get GH back to safety. But Sumail holding him back with the Yule Scepter and following him through as well. There's going to be no stopping here from EG as they look for more. Is there anything that Liquid can do to hold them back? And it doesn't look like it. They've got to sap GH, leave him alone. Zai comes through with a punch. And EG again finding a second pickoff, with Liquid not able to respond.
They can't deal with this Queen of Pain now. Queen of Pain has recovered immaculately from the early game, now top of the net worth, even despite dying 3 times.
I mean, this is insane. The fact that Sumail is keeping up with a Midas Radiance Lone Druid and a Midas Radiance Matumba Man Lone Druid of all things.
Yeah, I don't know how he's able to keep up this amount of farm. The Roach Gold certainly helps a little bit, and playing around with the cheese right now, he can have that extra layer of aggression that was not possible before. And he has the False Promise behind him and Living Armor, so all these tools are going to play into Sumail dialing up.
And he's nearly got the Shiva's Guard complete. This is going to be absolutely massive in these fights but again, just something else to keep him alive, even if he gets Blink crushed. And also to provide that slow to allow Arteezy to commit on targets and chase them down.
He's going for a Scepter now onto the Ursa. Scepter is good for multiple reasons. It increases your burst a lot because you can use your ult a lot more frequently. And secondly, it prevents you from it helps you not buy BKB, which you don't really want to do on Ursa.
No, definitely in a game like this, it's got so many more benefits. I mean, what are you worried about being crushed? Now you've got the ability to get out of it. Silences, I mean, no one's really going to be building any silences this game on Liquid, and they don't have any with their spells itself. So yeah, Axis are definitely the way for Artur to go.
You can also like take off the Corrosive Haze very early on in the fight. I think he could just commit it at the start of the fight, though, to burst someone down. I think that might be more important to get a kill in combination with the lasso and have it up. I think the cooldown reduction may be a bigger play here than being able to cast it through a stun.
Look at this, they found the bear. They want to bring it down. They've got the DD on Sumail. Is it going to be quiet enough? Doesn't look like it is. With Soul Burn, not enough to bring it down. So Matumba will keep Alfredo alive.
Where the Shiva's at?
There it is. Well, in terms of committing it for that kill, maybe. Maybe he could have done it. That's for sure. Maybe he's still a little scared of how Liquid would react, because as it is, Liquid do have their full lineup on the high ground, so EG just a little worried about potentially being jumped upon, and they themselves are to smoke up, sweep the map, see if they can catch any of Liquid out of there. But Liquid playing very reserved now. It's clear that they are much more scared now of Evil Geniuses after the way the last few fights have gone. They do now have they've got the gem themselves out on Lone Druid.
That's a bit more reasonable because they are against the Tree Protector, but now they've awarded most of the ward, so that's why you see Liquid playing in this held back position behind their T2s. And now they have to worry about the Queen of Pain. The Queen of Pain's an additional layer of chaos that Liquid don't want to deal with. You blink in with Shivas, and you're very unlikely going to die. Like, he has Yules to save himself, he has a ton of armor, and he has a cheese to fall back on just in case. And that's a problem because normally you're waiting for the Bat Rider lasso.
That was gorgeous there, Sumail. He blinks at the same time as GH. It looks like he may still get taken out. No, the false promise comes through. Sumail's going to be kept alive, and now in the overgrowth, EG, they're the ones ready to chase down. The wall will be dropped, but Arteezy straight into the front lines, looking to commit on the target, will be held back by the slow. Can't actually chase down Kuroki. He himself now in trouble as Mind Control to the man focusing back towards the middle. Miracle will be nuked down. Arteezy still alive for the time being. A crit coming in just in time with the save. Keeps the bear alive. Mind Control trying to chase him down, but he doesn't have the damage. Arteezy survives. Liquid, they've lost 2. They've lost out in base. It's going to be close now. He should be fine. Kuro's there as well. Using his extra heals were required, but what a fight for EG. And just that starting there, both Sumail and GH blinking past each other. Sumail staying alive, and again, you've got to give a shout out to Crit. This man, false promise onto Sumail, the Fortune's End and such onto Arteezy, making sure that Liquid can't finish him off with the magic damage. The control's been perfect from this Oracle in these team fights.
I like the synergy between the Enrage and the Purifying Flames too, because it's pretty much free heal without you actually having to commit the Fate's Edict, so Ursa can still attack. But yeah, Crit, I would say definitely the MVP of this game. His amount of saves with this little net worth is a sight to behold.
And he still hasn't died. 7-0-6.
Yeah.
And look how much money he's got. He can buy what he wants. He will go for the meg.
What a selfless
Picks it up
guy.
pretty much full up. 22-9, 34 minutes in. 11k gold lead now for Evil Geniuses. They'll clean up the shrines on the side. Sumail closing in on that Bloodthorn.
Now there's no one for them to jump. They need to do like a double jump. Like you jump in with a Slaughter, once you see the Oracle, then you vacuum wall so they can get a kill on him. But Oracle's just been very far behind in these fights, just hiding in the fog. And also the cores from EG have been aggressive to the point where Liquid cannot ignore them.
Oh, look at this, Liquid there. They're going to go for the smoke here. See if they can get the jump or they find Crit. He's going to be forced away. Overgrowth there as well. Crit, he's going to be kept alive. And again, he gets off the false promise. Can they get him away? In fact, with the Yules there to hold back Miracle, it looks like Crit. He may just survive this one. He's healing up. He's going to be fine. False promise ends. He still survives. And it's Liquid that have lost Kuroki. Sumail jumping forward with the Sonic Wave. Shiva's Guard finds Matuma Man as he looks to try and hide in the tree line. Look for the TP out. But Sumail jumps forward, has the Yules. TP is cancelled. Matuma Man is taken down. EG again, and you just can't kill this Oracle.
Wow, I did not foresee first phase Oracle being this useful in this game. The amount of saves is ungodly from Crit.
Whether it's saving himself, saving his teammates.
Nice force staff from, I believe, Universe to set that false promise up. He almost died before he was able to false promise. That Slardar stun duration nerf.
And here we have it, EG taking their second melee racks. Bottom lane, range racks to fall as well for Liquid. And I mean, what do you do if you look, as you said, you've got to look to jump in onto two, but as we're seeing there, even if you jump in onto Crit, you don't win the team fight.
Well, they have to kill him.
I mean,
that's step one. Kill him in the jump. If you don't kill him in the jump, you lose the fight.
Yeah, it really seems to be the case.
Because they committed vacuum for that. If you don't commit vacuum, it's not that big a deal. But that was, you still have to commend that play from Liquid though. Dropping the ward at the ancient spot to get vision of the high ground, fighting at the opponent's shrine is a very bold move.
And look at it, they'd love to do something to try and stop EG getting the third Roshan of this game. But it's going to be so hard. Blink back from Sumail. Arteezy committing with the Enrage to the Roche. He is going to be able to find it. Picks up the Aegis. GH will jump forward. Looks for some sort of a steal, but he's not going to get it. Universe quick with the lasso. Holds back the Slardar. And now it's Liquid trying to get on the retreat. But the silence there onto Mike Job will be purged up by the Greaves. High ground Miracle trying to get himself away with the Blade Fury. Sumail though, he finishes off the second kill. Gets Kuroki. And now he's closing in for more. Miracle on the high ground trying to retreat. But Arteezy's in there with the bash, and they find the third. EG walking away with game two. I mean, game one may have been a very quick victory for Liquid, but EG making sure that this one, 37 minutes, is a little slower and a lot more painful.
Trying to spin those. It's over for Liquid here. They have a little bit of fight left, but this fight around the Roche that they committed, like the big item spike from the Orchid that led to the miracle kill. Here they go.
They tried it. They'll get the three-man vacuum wall into the Crow side, falling low, trying to get himself out, but again, Chris there with the save. They'll drop it down. The false promise, he's going to be kept alive. Arteezy will be rooted. Does, of course, have that Aegis to rely on. On the side, though, they've lost Kuroki again. Arteezy again still survives. The face eating fortune from Crick, keeping him alive. He heads back to the tier 4. Liquid, they're down 3. They don't have buyback.
No one died on EG.
I mean, this is insane.
What? I don't know how Oracle kept 2 people alive there.
And here we go. On to the base, and they'll tap out. They know it's over. And what a game for EG. it's got to feel so good for them coming back after game one as dominant as it was for Liquid, and then giving us that tight-knit performance as a team. And as you said, it crit with the Oracle plays. It was
phenomenal to watch. They also were really good about the times that they smoked. They smoked like right before the Rose. They smoked with the Orchid timing. And yeah, I think Crypt's play just made it impossible, really, for Liquid to get a clean kill. Anyone that they went on that wasn't the Oracle himself just got false promise, and it was just way too problematic because they had to commit so much burst, like the Blink Crush and the Omni Slash often. Also, GH died, I would say, a little bit too much for them. You remember the one time that he blinked in the mid, even just showing himself is almost as much as like dying right there in the team fight when you just commit your Blink Crush to sending creeps. Yeah, he wanted to push out the wave. Can't really blame him for that.
But it certainly cost him that fight there because, yeah, he was unable to do anything for the rest of it with the jump as quick as it was from EG on to Miracle. And well, game two, it wasn't a 17-minute victory, so it's already stepping up. And as you said, such a high level of performance there from Evil Geniuses. I mean, what do you do now? Are we going to see Oracle banned out? Or, I mean, how do you deal with an Oracle performance as strong as that one?
I don't think the Enchantress did enough in the early game. I don't think you should have to work that hard for kills vacuum into Centaur Stomp. It looked beautiful, but you don't really have to want to work that hard and to just get like 1 or 2 kills in some of the team fights.
Absolutely. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The grand finals here, best of 5, now leveled out at 1-1 between Evil Geniuses and Liquid. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 will be around the way, but before that, back to the panel for some post-game.
The boot is on the other foot in Moscow now, as Evil Geniuses this time have put up the dominant performance. First 17-minute game gave Liquid the lead in this best of 5, and EG have bounced back, and a big part of that, our casters and our analysts alike, are going to be talking about the Oracle. But the Oracles of Dota are joining me. We do have, of course, Purge, this time Gods and Winter standing by. I mean, this is an intriguing one to dissect because, well, you called it, Kevin.
I had a feeling, and my feeling was right.
You had a feeling in your fingers?
No, EG, when they lose games like that, especially the first match, they get angry, usually. And that's when Sumail plays better. And I did agree that the Enchantress pick was really effective, but they put safe heroes on their lanes. They put a Quap mid who's pretty effective against Lone Druid. That was pretty called by them doing that. Quap's good against Lone Druid. And their aggro try went really well. So they just had to get to this period where Ursa has a couple levels, and then it's very easy for him to kill Enchantress. It's one of the best matchups against Enchant.
How many times, Winter, in fact, you were shouting and screaming, hooting and hollering, did we see, oh, he's dead, it's fine, he's dead, and then Oracle saves the day. What do you make of all of that? Crits being instrumental during all of these fights. Look, watch those health bars.
I mean, he was definitely instrumental in the fights, but I think Ben mentioned it at the end. He didn't feel like, I agree with Ben, I don't feel like the Enchantress did enough in the early game. The first, 3.5, 4 minutes, he was mostly just farming. I mean, I get it. It's against a mid matchup, not easy to gank. Queen of Pain. Top is bad either. You don't really want to gank. But then again, you can always just send a creep over, help the lane a bit. You know, maybe any creep at all. Just a presence there to help the lane. Like, I think he started rotating at minute 4.5. Like, it was way too late.
That's a 0% success rate for Liquid's Enchantress over the 2 games it's played. Not quite working out. I mean, can you kind of understand the thought process behind the Enchantress pick, though, Gods? It makes kind of a degree of sense to you in the draft.
Yeah, they really wanted to be able to pressure the lanes and have all these rotations, which are going to get them like this strong early game. They can snowball off of that.
Right.
I think EG threw them a bit off, putting the Ursa in the bottom lane. And I think also, yeah, Kuro just wasn't quite as effective because there were lanes like Batrider and Queen of Pain who he couldn't find kills on. So Liquid kind of ran into a roadblock.
Is this where Sumail baffled us, or is it a little later on?
Not this fight.
Not this fight, okay.
Not yet.
It's like 27 minutes was... No, that was something else as well. God,
but
there was a lot of
this fight still, the Trian, we were like, oh, Trian's dead? No, he's not dead. He's dead? No. Oracle saves him in, there's a shrine, another heal, and he's not dead.
And a lot of the casters were, I think we were worried as well that EG would have weak damage late game, but in this fight, this is basically what they needed to do. They need to use Batrider and Ursa to kill one person right at the start and make it a 5v4 for the rest of the engagement. And consistently throughout the game, that was really what they punished well with. Because if you don't kill somebody with an Ursa, with a Quap at the start, then you're most likely going to lose the fight if it keeps going.
Ben brought up a really good point as well during the end of it. He said that part of EG's success this game was the way they utilized the smoke. And a lot of the fights that occurred, it was EG jumping on Liquid first. Liquid weren't able to get their vacuum into Stardust stun executed properly this game. They were always the ones that are being jumped first. And when they used their smoke, it wasn't really effective. They were going on targets that the Oracle was saving, leaving armor. Yeah, so initiation, just based on initiation, EG definitely clear-cut team that did it better this game.
One of the more successful Batrider games we've seen. I mean, it has kind of cropped up in the draft quite a bit, but more often than not on the side of defeat up until this grand final.
Yeah, Universe did very well, and it's kind of, we're seeing his kind of flexibility come out with the puck being banned. Game 1 plays the Clockwork, now pulls out the Batrider. This is a guy who will play what's needed for the draft for EG.
This is where Samael defies all logic. He comes back with full HP.
I mean, even Liquid thought he was dead. Like, they did not use their Omni Slash on him. He was like there. Like, they were like, okay, this guy is definitely dead. We are not gonna commit further for that kill. And he was full HP. After that, we were like baffled. How is he full HP?
It's such a weird, tough hero to play against Oracle because you don't get to see it pick. It used to be picked quite a bit, but lately it hasn't. So it's very hard to judge how much damage you're doing and how much they're healing in the Oracle Ultimate, the False Promise, because they are getting the extra heal. They're getting mech, they're getting earned up, they're getting the Oracle's stick charges, the Oracle's third spell, and the Oracle. This is the fight here, I believe. He survives an entire Omni Slash of damage.
He did get a mech off there as well, but I mean, an Urn alone is like 800 HP because it doubles. So
Look at that.
Barely survived. And I'm sure that just having high armor also made a big difference. Urn gives you 2, mech gives you at least 5 to 7, so...
Yeah, and of course the Juggernaut wasn't like really farmed. He was just mediocre on net worth.
Oh, I think I know what it was. He was really low HP as the Omni hit, therefore Guardian Greaves pumped in and gave him 15 regen per second and 15 armor.
Yeah,
so he was just pumping out. It basically resisted a lot of the Omni Slash damage and regen a lot during it.
No, he actually got only Greaves at this fight. I know this.
Did he have Greaves for that?
That's why he had only mech.
Okay.
I thought we had Sherlock Purge on the case.
I'm gonna check the replay later.
Sure. Yeah. I'll expect a video on your channel later.
Okay. I was right. Just like the game prediction based on feeling.
Based entirely on feeling. That's so unlike you as well, Kevin. Feeling?
Well, that's predictions,
what are
man.
You doing?
Yeah, you don't know where the lane matchups are going to be half the time. You don't know who's going to play the Earthshaker. It's tough. Sometimes you just got to wing it.
They bounce back though. EG will keep the series level. All of our statistics here provided by cybersport.com. Miracle, Mind Control, Kuroki, GH, and Matumba Man unable to make it work, and that, I believe, I will just quickly quadruple check, but that may very well be one of their first conceded losses on the Lone Druid. In fact, no, tell a lie, 60% win rate coming into this with that particular hero. Something they've been drafting a lot, but EG do take the lead.
They'll probably stay away from the Enchantress. I think they are just going to keep to the Lone Druid. Don't think Lone Druid was a big issue here in this game. Definitely not the fault of why did they lose.
Yeah, I think the core heroes they have is fine. Like the Lone Druid, Jug, Darkseer, there's good enough just synergy between them. The healing wall with the Bear, you've got a strong dual core, you've got Teamfighter the Darkseer. It's just what the supports do in that mix. And we even saw GH perhaps not have his best game on the Slardar. I think he just showed his position on the map a few too many times. Didn't get his initiations quite off how he'd like to, so it wasn't maybe the best support duo for Liquid.
I mean, it was partly the reason why as well. The jump was always on them instead of them jumping on people, because GH wasn't doing his job. And Alex even talked about it when we were watching the game. How is Kuro, 1.6k net worth somewhere down the line?
Yeah.
He has no items at all because he gave everything to his teammates. And he, as an Enchantress, you buy everything. You let your Slardar get his dagger. You let everyone get their items, and they're not doing their job. And when that happens, you're not doing anything anymore as an Enchantress.
It's really hard to catch up as well. You don't have a natural farming ability unless you find the right neutral. So if you get behind on this hero and you're against an Ursa, it's a tough game.
Yeah, I think it's a hero that they're not. From what I see this game, I don't think they're going to be very comfortable at running the hero again. I think the hero was really good, given the circumstances that she was picked in.
Yeah.
It was just that the team didn't really mesh well with the hero, or Kuroki doesn't play the hero well. One of the reasons.
Previously, when we were talking about Enchantress, it was, I believe, Lil who picked it up for VP, and part of the discussion we had there was that it has to be more greedy. It's going to be, you put it in Lil's hands because he can have a bit of greed, he can exert some dominance. Why is that not applying to Kuro? Just because of his particular game style?
I think this game in particular is not about the greed. It's about the work that he is supposed to do in the early game. He spent like too much time being really passive. I'm not sure why. He could have at least helped the lanes. Even if you don't kill the lane, sometimes it's fine. Like you just send a creep over, you just push him out of the lane. You're not killing him, but you're actually helping your lanes in a good way already. You don't have to be there.
Interesting.
He was just jungling like for 4 minutes. I'm not sure why did he choose to do that.
So a couple of slip-ups from Liquid, as expected, as you would expect to slip on Liquid. Gods, what do you make in terms of where this series is going? You've had a chance to see both teams at their very best. Admittedly, yourself, Kevin, and you, Gods, said they didn't get a chance to play Dota in the first. Is this the sign of EG just getting back on their feet, back on that horse?
It feels like for EG, game one was just like, well, this draft did not work with the Necro counting the Bristleback, the lane's falling apart, so I think EG have found a way to get back on their footing. It's kind of hard to say where things go because there isn't like a clear drafting pattern so much. So often in series you'll see like just 1 or 2 small tweaks in the draft and see like very similar drafts 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. That's kind of what happened like the Kiev Major Grand Finals, but I think these two teams are showing a huge array of heroes, a lot of more flexibility when it comes to the draft.
But I can see both teams having the same card.
They need to pick more Dragon Knight.
Crocodile Dragon D. Gods.
My hat's on sideways.
Is that your alternate account, by the way, Gods, that Twitter tag? Do you see that?
What was the Twitter account?
I am not saying
not to say.
Yeah. Studanol.
That is, that's the Russian analyst desk.
Studio analysis.
Yeah.
Yep, no, I know. I'm aware.
Okay.
Just being careful with how I'm going to pronounce it. Studanol. Anyone want to have a go? Winter, I feel like your pronunciation's always been on point.
Pass.
Yeah, okay. Keeping their hands warm as we are.
Nice try, Alex.
I thought I might catch you. But I'm very intrigued. This has been a very diverse Grand Final. I mean, just to return to your point, Gods, previous Grand Final, Kiev, perhaps even in Manila Masters, was there less diversity in those drafts as we're seeing here? Is this 706 or is this just the teams?
I think EG always show a lot of diversity with their drafts, especially in the Grand Finals. If they have a chance to bring out something new, they like to throw their opponents off, and that's what kind of has happened here a bit in game number 2. But
A Brewmaster.
Radiance on Brew, questionable.
Wasn't it just Lone Druid's Bear with the Radiance?
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's my guess. Oh man, that's analysis. That's why I'm here, folks.
Yeah,
Breaking down the cuddly toys in the crowd.
So smart, Alex.
Where would you be without me? Where would you be without me? And where will EG be after this one? Back-to-back Grand Finals and potentially 2 trophies lifted in this month alone. Liquid to take it away from them. What's Liquid's journey been like? If we kind of recap where Liquid's recent results have stood, has it been an easy journey for these boys? Of course, direct invite to this tournament, by no means needed to qualify.
So they had a disappointing major, but managed to do well in the subsequent tourney, the Starlighter Invitational. They took home the title. It wasn't the strongest competition compared to other events, but I think Liquid's a team who's won a couple of championships this year and last. Maybe they're not in the big tournaments, but they're showing an ability to perform and do very well on land. Although every now and then they'll do very poorly, like DAC, Kiev Major. These events, they did not deliver up to expectations.
Would you say that where they're at right now kind of reminds you of where they were about a year ago? Because that's kind of what it feels like to me. Like they're within striking distance of getting a top 3 placement of TI, possibly winning it. Would you agree that they're finally at that same level?
I think a year ago, because a year ago was like when they won that first Epicenter, they came in as one of the favorites for the tournament. I don't think that was quite the case with this event. I think they were one of the teams who that was what was expected of them. They just haven't been showing those results. But a win here, I think now that they're in the finals, I think they're basically close to that point now.
It's a big question. You can see that eyes are starting to be drawn to Crit's screen, and I'm sure we'll get to share that in just a moment, because that does mean the draft is on its way. And if you focus and recap of what we've seen so far, it has been Liquid primarily taking away what EG's found success with in that semi-final. We didn't get to see them in the quarters, but in the semi-final, EG found a draft that works for them, and it's been completely hamstrung and hindered by Liquid. Kuroki, the man behind the magic, just taking away absolutely everything. As you see Owen just signing away. I think that was a check, signing off blank checks to the crowd. How's your Russian, guys?
Isn't that the same logo they used for the show match? It's like a punching thing.
KBY, yeah, at the bottom
I saw
it was. Apparently, yeah, they were selling those shirts in the shop, and there was like thousands of them sold. So.
Seriously?
And we sell shirts.
Guys, where was your Philippic t-shirts?
I would have given Haas a percentage of the proceeds. That would have been worth it.
Coming to the TI7 secret shop, I guess.
Oh,
Team
man.
Philippic.
Oh, man. They start to take their seats. I wonder how much pressure you feel, or if you just get into that game zone.
They're all pretty experienced playing together at this point.
Just
GH
another
is
game
no
of
one.
Dota, you know, Alex.
Is it just another game of Dota, though, Winter? Like, do you not at any point, when you're into the series, you know, into your third game, and you sit there and realize that this next hour of gameplay could very well put you closer to what is essentially $250,000? It's not a bad chunk change.
I mean, definitely it does. It does put a lot of pressure in that way, but you don't want to think about the money. You just want to think about winning and the game. What you need to do in the game.
Think about your opponents.
Yeah. Think about what you have to do. What's our team's game plan? What do I have to do throughout the game? Keep reporting to my team, and then I mean, like every role has different jobs. Like the supports, you always want to keep reporting on the missing opponents, their wardings, their smokes, what spells are used for. Like you want to make sure that every game you don't forget to do any small little detail.
Right.
Check runes even.
So you have like almost a checklist of
Yeah.
my responsibilities this game.
For me, I do. I have like a book when I go into tournaments, and I just write down things that I always want to do.
Right, like
So I
habits you want to have.
Yeah, so I don't forget.
Make sick meme jokes.
Yeah.
Puns.
H2O.
Puns wherever possible.
Lol,
I mean,
lol.
if I don't do well, you know, my Captain Mushi is going to be yelling at me, so I want to make sure I don't disappoint him.
Yeah. The SEA captains.
It keeps me in check. Don't be lazy.
I don't think they're going to be. So much for EG and Liquid here. A win here for Liquid. I mean, are they locked in for TI? Liquid, I mean, you've said already that they have not had good results. Would a win be enough to push them, or at least much closer to the opportunity for an invite, or is it just not enough?
A win guarantee, 100%.
100% guaranteed.
TI second, it depends how many invites there are. I want to say it's probably enough regardless.
Because considering the competition, right?
Yeah.
Considering who has been here in Moscow and just how close it will be to the international.
And that's maybe a little bit less pressure on this match itself.
Right.
Especially for EG, who are more or less a lock for TI. So I think there's like an exhaustion. There's some level of maybe nerves going in, but I don't think there's going to be like a pressure like you. Have to win. It's not like the pressure of playing at a TI or one of the main.
I'm sure there's no doubt that Liquid have had the chat saying, if you really want to know that we're going, pick up the win here. Pick this up. Know you've got the guaranteed ticket. And so we start the draft and a ready change-up. Crystal Maiden has been taken away from Crit.
That is itself a rather interesting move. The last game, EG had first, but they do put a lot more focus on getting a hero like CM through. So it tells us that Liquid is not afraid about the Trian at all, even though they did not do well against it last game.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden has been and is featured amongst the 3 heroes that they most picked. In fact, it's quite interesting. Look at Liquid's current 3 heroes on the right side of the screen. The 2 banned and the first picked are EG's most played heroes. They're taking them away from them in one way or another.
Well done, Alex. Well done. Good observation.
This is not observation. This is just me reading a spreadsheet.
And who are they going to pair it with? Darkseer to open it. So removes one of the counters against Tree, whilst giving them potential dual lane. Kind of good opening.
Yeah, awful lane for CM. You don't want anywhere near the lane Trian plus Darkseer. I mean, the main thing is like you don't want to give away the Darkseer when you have Trian. So I think that's partly one of the bigger reasons why you pair those 2 heroes together.
Winter
All right.
will be happy.
I mean,
Liquid will try their hand at it.
it was it was EG's first game's opening, right? CM Bristleback.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is like, if you do a BB safe lane, because but I'm not saying they will do it, like they can do it in all 3 lanes, but BB can actually absorb the pressure that the Darkseer and Treant throws at you. This is the good thing about Bristleback. You can lane him anywhere, and you can put him in the lane that has the most amount of pressure, and he's just going to be fine in the lane. He doesn't farm as much, but it's very difficult for the enemy to push him out of the lane and etc. It's a good hero to be placed against a pressure lane. That's why BB is such a good pick nowadays in the current meta, because you often see all these kind of like very annoying lanes, very hard to deal with, and BB is the perfect hero for that.
BB, your baby. Quap taken away from Sumail.
Wonder if that means EG might ban the Lone Druid.
Bloodseeker ban again because they have the Darkseer. But EG, I mean, it's interesting to see this ban again because so now we've seen this ban twice already, twice or three times, and Liquid has picked the hero up like 1 time in the previous series. So like EG sees this hero as a threat. This hero is a hero that, if not dealt properly, he can do a lot in the fights, and you can't really predict how much he can do as well because the hero can do a lot, but he can also die very easily. Very volatile hero.
Kind of interesting to see the Quap and the Lone Druid bans traded for one another. It feels like their whole purpose was to cover one another, so now that they both ban it, they both lose a ban.
Yep, and Liquid bans the Sven as well. Sven is really good against the Bristol. Like, they are the teams that picked up the hero against the Bristol in the first game. And the enemy does have Darkseer. Darkseer Sven is very good combination together.
Still Razor in the pool, which was like what banned out in the second stage in at least game 1. Something that's been played against the Bristleback, played in Ortiz's hands and Sumail's.
I would say probably harder to play against Sven than Razor as a Bristol. I mean, it's quite annoying as well because of the unstable current. Then you don't really want to go. Then you get slowed all the time. But EG just going all mass team fight, vacuum, warlock, ultimate, fatal bond.
It's going to help a lot against the Bristleback lane.
That was a quick draw.
That was really quick. They knew what they wanted, and Drow is a hero that is really good against Bristleback. Because in the laning phase itself, the cold arrows, the silence, all the tools that Drow has is very good against Bristol, and you're a hero that can always have the option of building the Silver Edge. So all in all, Drow is very good against Bristol.
You previously have described Drow games as lots of early damage, lots of early success. You've also previously highlighted that Tree and Darkseer are very scary in the lane. You suggesting EG are going to have some early game dominance here, Kevin?
It's definitely possible. They could just move Tree around, put him in the safe lane to start, maybe kill Bristol once, go to the off lane. Pretty much anywhere Tree goes, he's going to be useful.
EG should have the advantage in the off lane and the mid lane for sure. The question for the Drowse lane is how much do they contest the Drowse lane? Like a Tree and Darkseer should be able to put a lot of pressure on, and the mid hero with Precision Aura should be able to win their lane as well.
But the tough part is you don't know what Liquid's lanes are yet. Could be Urshik or off lane. My control's been playing that a lot, but Miracle also played it mid.
I mean, the thing is like they are not sure, but their lanes right now are looking pretty solid. Warlock, Drow, Darkseer, Treant, they're all very solid lanes on its own.
Like a hero that can perhaps run and charge down the Drow range and
Is anyone going to do the hand clap thing? Tumba's favorite hero, man.
No,
He's smiling. Look at me.
Smiling
shaking his head.
and-
I mean, the hero is actually, in theory, very good against Drow because he just like Drow is very weak against gap closers, and Lycan is a fantastic gap closer.
But Overgrowth from Treant is really good against Lycan.
Yeah,
It's like one of
Overgrowth.
the best ways to stop him from
But if they do like have a good early game, Lycan pulls ahead. I can see Lycan being like all over the place and Drow can be very hard pressed to find any solutions against that.
Will Liquid use their 5th ban? Or will they fall into Secret's trap? The no 5th ban.
That's the
You want to ban
strategy.
the OD again? OD versus Bristle always seems very good. Gives you a save, gives you good damage output.
It's true. It's good with Drow Aura.
But that was the hero they ran that one time against Secret when there was a Bristle on the playing field. OD versus Lycans should be fine as well, I would say.
You can see a Liquid fan there.
That's interesting. They ran out the Enchantress, so even though Enchantress wasn't successful the last game, but Enchantress is a hero that's very good against the Drow. You want to mess with her lane early, you don't want her to just farm, get her levels, and the pace of the game would be really quick. So EG is more or less only worried about heroes that can slow the draw down, hence the last ban Enchantress. And they're also worried about a push because Lycan Bristol could easily be a very quick game.
I do love that when you look over Liquid, every draft there is a full-on democracy. Every single person is inputting there. We saw Mind Control to Matumba to Miracle to Kuroki.
So do they? I mean, we're basically looking at a 4 position here. There's still potential.
Shaker, GH has played Shaker
could
before.
be, yeah, Shaker could be 4 position. I mean, I think they could, if they want to, they could do this Shaker 4 position Bristle off lane, Lycan safe lane, pick another mid. Basically, the Shaker just goes level 1, you fissure the off lane, so the Bristle gets, even though it's a bad matchup against Drow, but if you can ensure that Bristle gets some farm, the fissure will make sure that the Bristol gets level 2, bare minimum. Then the lane could be okay for Bristol. So I could see that working for Liquid.
That's probably the discussion they're having at this point as well.
I mean, they have a lot of options with their 4 heroes right now. A lot of different ways to set up their draft, different lanes. So it's all about what they want to do right now. So I can understand why they're taking a long time here. They need to be able to find out what's best for the team and what's best against the enemy.
And of course, I mean, we talked about it before, it bears repeating. How much does player preference play a part in these huge discussions, these grand final drafts?
Probably doesn't matter as much.
A bit. So like we saw in True Sight, like when it comes down to like that mid, like right now, like if you're asking who do you want to ban mid, you're likely asking Miracle, like who do you not want to verse?
Right, it is,
like,
that's the player preference.
I think that's a big part of it. And I think similarly, it's like when you want to pick a hero for your mid, you're asking them if you think it's a good hero for this game. Because they know, like, Miracle knows, is this a good Invoker game? Probably better than Kuro does. He's the one who plays Invoker all the time, and he has a good feel whether these are heroes he wants to play the hero against.
He's made the call. The infamous Invoker will once again enter the battlefield.
I do like it this game. There's sort of weak disables from EG, and he's got a ton of wave clear. He's got really good late game team fight, which they kind of need to offset some of what like Warlock, Darkseer Tramp bring out. I think it was a good pick here. And he's going to have extra mana from CM. It's maybe a little hard to Sunstrike. It's basically Frostbite or Shaker combos only, but I think it can work.
So what other good laners are there available against Invoker?
Is it too crazy to go TA against Lycan Bristle?
I'm thinking TA, but TA doesn't feel... I mean, he's good. He has a good matchup, but it doesn't feel like good for the game.
True.
I mean, there's... Okay.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Retro.
Haven't seen that in a long time, but it's a combo. That's what NP likes to do a lot in the past with NP, Warlock plus Mirana. Combo. Aghanims Mirana with the Fatal Bonds.
I mean, in the past, we saw some serious Sumail Mirana. Not in a while, though.
I'm actually not very convinced with the Mirana. I'm more convinced with the Bristol, the Lycan, the brutal heroes.
Winter, have you ever predicted against a Bristleback? I think once in your life you've predicted against a Bristle.
No, never.
Never? Oh my god. You're the biggest fanboy in Dota. Let's see what you got though. I'm just clarifying, you are predicting Liquid.
Yes.
Faith in the Bristle, his Bristle baby. Bristle Bay. Gods.
I'm going to stick with Winter. I think faith in the Bristle, but also in Miracle's Invoker. I think this is a game where he should be able to do incredibly well.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to cast a curse it and give EG the win by saying Liquid will win this. No problem.
So we've got Mr. Superstitious, we've got Bristles Bay. Oh, it's been an adventure so far, and it's only going to get more exciting now. Someone of Liquid and EG will take the lead and be one game away from the grand final and that trophy. Let's find out with your casters, though. Odie, Pixel, and Malenia waiting in the wings.
Thank you very much, Alex. And indeed, Ben, EG trying to... If we look over at Liquid, they've got something pretty standard. Miracle Invoker, Matuma Man Lycan. Are you confident in EG's draft? Because it didn't seem like the panel worked.
Nope. We're all going to curse it.
Damn.
4 for Liquid.
So why not? What is it that you don't like about what EG's trying to do? This game?
I think Drow's going to suffer a lot. I don't think they have the line up to take enough towers in the early and mid game because they don't have that scaling off laner. They have Darks here this game. Every other time that they run the Drow Ranger, I believe, they've had the Puck in the off lane. Puck wins his lane badly and can also scale pretty well. You get the 420 GPM, you have a lot of right-click damage. You can push towers by yourself. Darkseer is more of that team fight hero and isn't going to scale as well. And like vacuum combo on a hero like Bristleback doesn't care. They have counter initiation too with the Earthshaker. They have good high ground stall with the Invoker. I'm a big fan of Liquid's draft over EG's in this game.
I mean, can you see why EG would go for that final pick Mirana this game? Again, another different hero for Sumail?
So you want a ranged scaling mid that right clicks. So TA was already taken out. OD might struggle a lot this game, just because I don't think they have like a good frontliner on EG so that he can already hit. I think that Mirana is different.
How are you going to build in this? So you're saying you're looking for the right click. Do you still...
because you do, if he's going to go for the Scepter build, I have seen like the Lance build without Scepter a lot more often, but it does combo a lot better with the Fatal Bonds. Fatal Bonds on the Ag Starstorm is redonkulous.
I mean, I guess the other question really is with the Drow, Mirana and such, is it possible that EG can win their lanes as hard as sort of Liquid did in game one to the point where the Bristleback isn't an issue because of the pace that EG could get started early on with the Drow aura?
Well, Drow is versus Bristle, an annoying lane for Drow Ranger, but it's not complete free farm for Drow. Invoker versus Mirana, I would say slightly Mirana favored because of Drow Ranger aura. Darkseer versus Lycan, that's... I would say it should be fine for the Lycan because they have the support. So I would say it's overall a wash or pretty close to a wash. I can't see it going more than like 65-35, one side or the other in the first little bit of the laning phase.
I know we have it. Liquid's lineup. Definitely some heroes to be incredibly wary of, and of course, Miracle Invoker, something that can get shut down, but can bring himself back into the game. So we'll see what EG's answer and solution will be to what Liquid are bringing to the field this game.
It's all about that tree.
It is.
Tree is the early game dominator here. Tree's already a menace in the early game. Combine that with Ion Shell, he can take a lot of the pressure off the Drow Ranger. He can maybe mess up Invoker's game or mess up Lycan's game to the point where EG can snowball ahead with the Drow.
And you see the lane matchups that we are going to get. We are going to have EG going aggressive, so looking towards that top lane, but in response, Liquid will change their lanes up. They're going to make sure that the Bristleback's up there to tank the tri-lane and have Matumba farming down on the bottom.
He didn't hit the range creep.
In fact, now, GH, he's going to get the courier. He just walks in, and into the Sunstrikers. Miracle beautifully predicts his movement. And that mid lane is not off to a great start. Well, that may be a bit of an unflood going to Liquid.
Watching good Sunstrikes versus good players is always a sight to behold. That was cool. That's, if you were against a bad player, you would never cast Sunstrike there.
Absolutely not. And Miracle knew that the sidestep was going to be coming up and down the river's width, and absolutely nails it.
Well, that's a 1,500 gold lead, 1 minute in. First blood courier.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Look at that gold. That is, that is scary. A minute and a half in, bam, just like that. It just goes to show, I mean, there really is so much worth in bringing down the courier. Gives a huge financial boost to your team.
And just shutting down Sumail. So they will actually switch lanes up a little bit. I did see Bristle start off on the bottom, but thinking that Bristle is going to have a better time up top. What is the matchup? Oh, yeah. So they want to be able to pressure the Drow Ranger, it looks like, but
it's just the Drow and the Warlock and Arteezy up on top lane at the moment. As we have, for the time being, EG with these dual lanes of sorts. Zai down bottom, looking to keep some extra tabs on to Matumba Man alongside Universe. Mid lane, Sumail has still been able to find the CS, regardless of being taken down there in that first blood. 9 for 4 against the 11 for 5 of Miracle.
This is great for Kuro, because when you see this you get first blood and you get a chicken kill, that means that you don't really have to do that much. You can farm up, get level 3, get her arcane aura up, and there's not that much pressure on Liquid this game. This early game should already be smooth sailing just
Look
with
at
that
this
alone.
down bottom here. GH comes in with a Fisher block off as Zai tries to get himself away. In comes the Enchant Totem. GH, one more slap, not going to do it. Fairy Fire is there from Zai. He will keep himself alive. Liquid unable to find the kill, but at the same time, GH coming in just at the right time when things started to look a little hairy for Matumba Man.
Roaming Shaker's incredibly difficult to play, by the way, because Fisher doesn't do that much damage, and he's like with a melee hero, and it's very difficult to block off in some of the lanes nowadays. So I'm surprised that he's been able to do so much in the early game. So that certainly helps a little bit, but GH has been spot on. That didn't rhyme.
Nearly did.
I tried.
Mid lane Miracle getting a bit heavier with the pressure onto this tier 1. Having that slight lead, which is certainly good news for him, especially seeing as Samel does have that aura to try and help him out. Zai will reveal himself, go for a quick lead seed.
He has the Force Spirit in front to block off.
No way to land an arrow onto the hero, of course. I mean, he'll throw it out nonetheless to get rid of the Forge Spirit. But Miracle keeping himself very safe and very hard, really, for EG's heroes to gank. I mean, we saw that Zai comes across. Even if you're adding a Warlock into that equation, very unlikely you get that kill unless Samel does hit a freak arrow.
And slow is good for Liquid. You want the pace of the game to be relatively slow, a lot of farm, like not that much pushing on either side, and just take it the pace that you want to. And EG, on the other hand, they need to be able to push out lanes aggressively, take down a lot of T1s, and eventually take the Roche away from the Lycan and give it to the Drow Ranger.
Mid lane, GH, getting in with the wraparound, but Samel keeping his distance, so more than fine. Definitely something to talk about, though, Ben. On this top lane, Arteezy is having a brilliant time, and Mind Control is struggling immensely. He's only got 8 CS on this Bristleback compared to the 27 of Arteezy in this top lane. Did you expect him to sort of lose out on the lane that badly early on?
Well, Crit's been parked himself the entire time up there, so I think that has a lot to do with it. Keep in mind that Smell has had 0 help in the mid lane aside from 1 rotation from the tree, but Crit has been in this lane the entire time, and I think it's only going to get worse once Arteezy gets 6. That marksmanship armor is huge.
I mean, it feels like Arteezy just hasn't missed a creep up it. CS absolutely on point.
It's a tough lane because you don't have Goo this early, so there's no way for you to close the gap in between the Bristle and the Drow.
Yeah, unless Kuro gets involved. And you can see him trying to keep some sort of backup there behind Mind Control. It's very hard for them to make the move, as you said, with Crit Shadow Word Heal being enough to overpower the damage that comes out from Liquid in this top lane. Mid lane, Miracle still making sure that that lead gets bigger and bigger. 36 against the 22 of Samel.
They never know where GH is. He can also just keep stacking up the Ancients. He's doing that right now while still hanging around mid.
Oh, and it so close to being brilliant there, but the Sunstrike slightly off with the prediction, trying to catch him post-lead. It was a good attempt, but not good enough there for Miracle. Samel will survive.
Well, if there's a game for Samel to be scared, it's definitely this game, where he has had an atrocious start despite having Drow Aura and has almost been caught out twice now by the Sunstrike. And pretty difficult to predict.
Yeah, against a hero like Mirana with that good move speed and that leap. Very tricky to catch out.
The Arcane Rune, so she can kind of catch back up here. Still, Ancients being stacked again and again on the side of Liquid. GH making continuous round trips to Old Shrine.
I mean, top lane, they really do want to do something about Arteezy. He's been keeping fantastic control of the lane here with Crit, and now the wraparound comes through. GH lands the Fish of the Frostbite, the Sunstrike, more than enough to bring him down. Crit will try and get himself back to safety, but it's not going to happen. Enchant Totem there to cancel the TP, and GH, the gentleman, lets Mind Control get the final touch for the kill on the Bristleback.
So he prevented a kill on Matumba Man on bottom. He killed Samil once in the mid lane, and he also killed top lane. So he's
really
won all 3 lanes while stacking the Ancient. That's incredible.
GH on that shaker. As you said, it is not easy, but GH is certainly making it look like that mid lane. Indeed, Samel will have to leap over the Fisher. Does still have to be careful of Miracle's right click. Tries to man up here. Again, Goes for the prediction with the Sunstrike, but will be off point. So Sumail able to survive this rotation.
The next level, just stand in place.
It seems to be the play here for Sumail. Can't read your mind if you don't think. Top lane. Zai getting closed in upon. Mind Control and Kuroki see a chance. No, he's alone. And they will take him down. So Mind Control, even though he suffered in the CS, starting to scale up now with some good kill involvement, thanks to GH and Kuroki.
All right, so when is EG's time to shine? They have the Warlock, but the thing is, Rock's okay, but Liquid don't have to fight them. They can always get information with the just park in front with a Bristleback. How do you push towers with this foreign Bristleback who's going to be able to take his Ancient Stack and just buy a Vanguard and just sit right in front of the tower? It's very problematic for them.
Very tough.
And on top of that, at this pace, Earthshaker's going to have a pretty good blink dagger timing.
How are we seeing on GH at the moment?
He has 500
He's
gold.
got 500. He's starting the climb, yeah.
He's
very
already
early days.
won the lane, so now the cores can create space for him. In the early game, supports create space for the cores. Later game, cores, or in this right immediately past the laning phase, the cores can create space for the supports by farming up jungle or pressuring towers. Almost has those treads. That's a sad life. He was farming well. You mentioned our tour had a lot of last hits, but these Ancient Stacks coming in, they're give me some of that XP.
This pretty much just makes that laning stage redundant for Mind Control. He may have suffered there, but this is going to be a huge boost to get him back in, as you said.
They can't even get any of the experience.
They can't come close.
Oh, no.
So Liquid getting another successful objective, and indeed just maintaining that very healthy lead at this stage of the game. 9 minutes and around a 4K net worth lead for Liquid. 4-0 on the board as well.
You thought Ancient Stacking was over. Nuh-uh.
Absolutely not. And there we have it. GH, the man himself. 6 stacks so far, and a lot of those being Ancients.
I didn't even see who stacked the bottom Ancients. Maybe he stacked it with a Wolf or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's the thing. GH won all 3 lanes and stacking both Ancients. I thought it was one Ancient. I was already pretty impressed.
This is insane. There's never any downtime for GH, that's for sure. Bottom lane, EG opening up onto Matumba Man. GH moving into position, making sure that they do hold back, but now he's been caught out by Gus. Now the upheaval starting to slow him down. Zai does land the root, but Liquid are going to come in and try and fight in return. They'll keep GH safe. The dust is out. Zai has been, despite EG's best efforts, may not be done yet, as well as Matumba closing in onto Arteezy. Mind Control as well, ready to make sure that the gap is closed. The first goo is out. Is the Shadow Work going to be enough to save him? Ooh, it is. I can't believe he got out of that. He gets himself away. Arteezy will survive. Crit, maybe the one to tank this. No, he'll try for the TP as well. Is he going to be as successful? He is. TP Scrolls being the name of the game here for EG. As they keep 2 of them alive.
Sunstrikes ideally should have come out during the TPs. That's probably the only thing I could fault Liquid for in this early game. They probably should have had a Drow kill, which would have slowed the entire lineup a lot, because the supports can farm a lot better, or at least the Warlock can when you have the Drow to defend this tower.
So, he's come in and cleared the wave and forced Matumba Man back, but immediately Liquid are there. Sumail will try for the TP, Frostbite. So again, another TP out from EG, as they seem to be very good at running away.
Greatest strength.
Top lane. The 2 of them who are down to run away, Universe and Zai, want to get stuck in. They've got their eyes onto GH. GH again with the Aftershock trying to hold them back. Universe looking for the body blocks, bringing him down with the Iron Shell, but the body blocks aren't to be successful. There's going to be a TP coming through, but it does end up being cancelled. But it looks like GH is safe nonetheless.
When Darkseer is ganking, you know that things aren't going well, because usually you just want to farm your mech and then push, but they are not in that place right now. They're not in the good spot. GH.
Just desperately looking for any sort of fight that they could try and come out on top of.
GH getting ran at by Zai with an Ion Shell.
Here we go. This looks to be the kill for EG, as they'll come through with a final punch. At the same time though, Liquid making sure that they still find something in response. Tier 1 taken down in the middle lane. as they do not hold off this pressure that they have been keeping up since the very early stages of this game.
Yes, and now the Drow Ranger feels stifled, as does the rest of the EG lineup. Sumail getting closed in upon.
Does have the Moonlight Shadow. See if they have the detection. They do. Fisher there as the sentries dropped along with the Sunstrike straight into. It seems that the worries of the panel are already becoming evident with these drafts.
Arm get the Scepter up on Marana, but she has 0 of the 4 pieces required to complete that Axe. So it might be a long way before Sumail's actually able to accelerate his farm. And he is number 6 in net worth. The lowest of the core is never a place you want to be. So now they can start to group up. They finally have the Warlock ult online and the Overgrowth, so it's a good time for them to take a fight. This is one of their biggest power spikes that they are going to get in the game. Unfortunately, they don't have a T1 to fall back on, and there's a ward behind them scouting them out.
I mean, yeah, Liquid, they know exactly what's coming for them here in this middle lane, and they have the ults to respond. They've got both Freezing Field and Echo Slam to play back into EG's hands. RTZ trying to lead in onto Mind Control. Arrow won't connect. They'll look to turn to put the pressure onto the tower, but Liquid, they are just using the 3 of them to hold it off the same time that Tummerman just getting free farm up on the top lane. And this is Liquid just getting much more out of the map than EG are with this 5-man attempt down the middle, but not achieving anything for the time being.
They just need to kill this wave. If they kill this wave, the push is over. And, okay, wave's dead, push is over, they're done. This first attempt to group up by EG has failed miserably, while the 2 side laners for Liquid. So nothing really happened, but there was a 1,000 net worth gain for Liquid just because of them being able to push out the lanes. And now EG, they need to reset, they need to push out both of the other lanes so that they could do something on the map.
They've got to farm up to some sort of an item. As you said, if Sumail can speed up that Axe, it will be brilliant for the side, but it's still such a long way away. Bottom lane, GH has a haste. It's going to come in and, okay. But, I mean, Universe was kind of like, what was that?
Maybe you hope that living armor was down at that point.
I don't think it was. Would it have been enough for living armor?
He had living armor.
It didn't look that. No, as in if the living armor wasn't there, would he have actually done? No.
But it's still a good. He doesn't have blink, so it's not like he's going to use the echo, but it looks like he is about to die here.
Yeah, he's going to pay for this one. Zai comes back in with Universe, and Universe says, haha, you try and kill me, I'll bring my big brother, and we will kill you.
Yeah, there was no way that he was able to survive that one.
Lane, jump forward from Sumail. Miracle trying to get in position for the combo, but a quick gust from Arteezy holds Invoker back for a couple of seconds. Liquid are still wanting to chase this down, though. Mind Control on the front lines. Universe has got the combo. See what they can do here with the Chaotic Offering as well if Liquid do group up, but again, Liquid being very careful with their positioning.
So Liquid's mindset right now is we don't have to fight them. They have to fight us. They have to come to us. They have to push our towers. And right now, EG are just not up to the call right now because they know that they could easily get wiped despite having all these teamfight ultimates because they fell so far behind in the early game.
Oh, Miracle. Tornado up to the high ground, gets 2 in the combo. Crit and Zai left high and dry. Zai's down. Crit trying to hide up, but the sentry's down. They've got vision upon him. Sunstrike's there from Miracle as he picks him up as well. 2 dead on EG.
This observer ward right here to the southeast of the Ancients, we've seen this time and time again because it's very hard to de-ward and you get almost as good vision as that high ground ward. And this will be the call for Liquid. That's a tough fight for EG to take. They didn't even get a chance to cast their ultimates right there. 2 supports just deleted.
Yeah, caught in the combo, Miracle. Miracle, as we can see, 9K and 9K net worth. Very early on in the game, 16 minutes, a big lead between him and, well, the net worth that they have on the side of EG. Around the 6K mark, RTZ and 5.3 for Sumail at the moment.
Oh no, he has eggs already.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
At this pace, we could see Miracle doubling the net worth of Sumail. Top lane though, Arteezy does find potential for a solo kill. Looks to Gus, GH backwards. In fact, GH is just fogging him. He can't get the vision to finish off the Shaker kill, and now Arteezy could be in trouble. He has got his friends on his way over. But mind control's there on the front lines. Echo Slam this time, it will be enough with the Sunstrike to bring down Artur. Zai's trying to come back in. They do get the 3-man golem. GH won't be able to hold them back with the enchant totem as he will fall. Kuroki with the freezing field. They tried to cancel it with the arrow there, but the creep's blocking it, causing Zai to fall to the damage. Now Sumail trying to DB out in the middle of the tree line, but they have the vision. Cold Snap's there. Sumail drops as well. And again, it's EG trying to fight.
I think the big problem is that look. Would have price to come.
Definitely damage limitations, and of course going full out on the Silver Edge, lacking any sort of early agi items such as the Asher or sort, so the extra damage won't be there for Sumail. And they need everything they can get, EG, because they're without their ultimates, without that chaotic offering, they're running out of damage that they can throw down in these team fights. And in fact, Arteezy in trouble. That ward still there. EG never dewarded it. They have got the Shadow Blade. Do they have detection yet? Dust is going to clip him. Living armor out upon him. Is it enough to keep him alive? But with the Gust back and the Overgrowth, it looks like they'll give Arteezy a bit more time. Matumba chasing it down. Surge is there from Universe. Arteezy will be saved this time round.
Luckily for EG, the only thing that is a
And
dead
he's
Dry
close.
Ranger. Yeah, he's very
One
close.
more tier 1. And for GH. So they're going to hold this one off. They cook the living armor. They cool with the full 5-man. Eyeing up this top lane. EG have to be careful how they come forward to do any sort of a defense, and pretty sure they'll choose to remain hidden, and indeed they will. As Liquid are allowed to take another tower from the map, keeping this tempo up. 19.5 minutes in, 10,000 net worth lead. We'll see again. I mean, tier 2. Do EG want to do anything? They don't. They realize now they have to try and split up and farm, as Liquid have been earlier. They still have Arteezy working down the middle lane, and Sumail on the bottom trying his best to climb towards that Aghanims. Now they've got to come back though. Pressures onto the high ground. Liquid moving on to tier 3s. Sumail and Artur, they have to come back eventually. Sumail now TP's home. Arteezy will stay in the middle lane. So as the aura is all I'm offering in this team fight, boys. And that may just be enough. Sumail's presence starting to slow the pressure down. Liquid struggling to fight through the living armor, but now they see a chance. Crit around by the shrine, won't pop it, doesn't need to, now it comes through. Universe says keep yourself healthy, pop the shrine, now the combo. Coming in with the back wall, but in response, GH jumps forward with the Echo Slam. Sumail tries to leap away, but Liquid, they're kept alive. The combo just isn't enough. Even with the multi-man vacuum and chaotic offering, they just can't bring Liquid down. They stay alive, EG to fall. Drow has to buy back into this one. They'll finally catch Matumba on the retreat of it all. They need something big. They need a huge cleanup here, EG. They tried to find mind control. It's not enough damage. Sumail jumped forward for it. Rules here on to Miracle. Miracle now turning, trying to finish off Zai. On the way up to the high ground, jukes out the tornado. Miracle turns around with the deafening blast. Sumail caught out. The Sunstrike is going to connect. No! The lead just in time to keep Sumail safe. Arteezy again holding back Liquid with the 3-man Gust. But again, a very scrappy fight, but EG do hold. They keep the tier 3 alive. They force Liquid back, and they get a big kill in the sense of Matumba, but it did cost them that buyback on Arteezy. So his farm again will be hindered.
Just when you thought all hope was lost for EG, they pull one out of the hat. Finally, they get the they get the Ags up on the Mirana. So now they can actually start farming, pushing out lanes a little bit more aggressively. Yeah, it looks pretty bad, but
it's looking a little better. For sure, I mean, if they had that Ags in that last fight, that would have definitely been a triple kill of sorts for Sumail. They did get low after that initial burst, Liquid. They just needed something else, EG, and now they've got it.
And they have the T3 still up, so they can heal up with Tree.
Yeah.
Shrines still aren't down, and that was the Aegis push coming out from Liquid. So EG just bought themselves another 5 to 10 minutes on the timeline.
Crucial hold. But Liquid, they're straight ready to get back into it.
Oh no, the Warlock ult is not up.
This is the time for Liquid to try and find a catch onto EG outside the base. They bring the tier 3 down, Alacritying up, Bristle back, EG bringing the full 5-man back for this hold. Looking for the opening, catches the Tornado again onto 2. But the push certainly proving to be a little more difficult now for Liquid. Now the Chaotic Offering is back online. They've got to be so careful how they commit Liquid. They can't afford to lose another fight. In fact, an arrow straight onto Mind Control could be the perfect opening here for EG. They'll vacuum him back further in towards the base, but he's still able to get himself back out. They're grouped up, Liquid. Zai starting it off with the Overgrowth. Again, the Meteor drop down. Now the Chaotic Offering comes out in response, but GH is in there. Straight up to the high ground. Echo Slam onto 2. They'll look for the Surge Strike onto Sumail. It's not quite enough damage. Kuro, Freezing Field, cancelled by the Gust from RTZ. As again, no one to fool, but EG are holding on to this high ground. And Liquid, they've got to give it second thoughts. They need something else. They need, it feels like another item now at this stage, because EG have got to this point where they can get this sort of a lock on the game where they don't let Liquid get up to the high and take down the tier 3s.
But they can just try and go again. Liquid are adamant about taking down this T3 early on in the game and hitting EG while they're still weak. 15,000 gold is something that's not super easy for Liquid to triumph, though.
Oh, like this though, EG, they're leaving the base. Let's see what they can get out of this. Liquid might not suspect this, knowing that the offering has already been used, but in fact, well, GH with this Invis, he spotted out any sort of plan from EG, and they're going to be able to punish as Zai caught out by that Invis Rune Earthshaker, and GH jumping forward, drops down the Sentry, eyes onto Arteezy, but not the lockdown to commit. But nonetheless, Liquid just making sure that EG realise that this is still a very scary game for them to leave the base.
The Tree heal still hasn't healed.
Before Liquid's able to certainly have the position to do so.
He nailed that staircase.
There we go. Mind Control on the front lines. Crimson Guard out. Arteezy trying to push them back, but against the Bristle, very much a tickle. Sumail actually leaps down to the low ground here. Will be Cold Snap, and that gives Liquid the chance to finish off the tier 3 in the middle. Matuma trying to lock in onto Arteezy. But EG now with Zai back alive, living armor there. They'll hold off. So Liquid again, they're being much more careful with the way that they push in. Not looking to throw everything in, as they know that they can keep a strong hold on the game now. With the tier 3s taken down, they look towards the shrines. They know they've got an edge. They know they've got this massive net worth lead, and they're making sure that they do not throw it away.
Smoke out coming out from EG immediately. There is no Warlock Rock Glide. They do not care. They know they have to do something before this next rush, or it is likely GG.
Let's see what they can find. Oh, is it going to be a smoke and Roche? Oh, they'd love it, but it not quite yet going to see the Roshan respawn time. There we have it. It is a short one, but still about a minute or so before it's there.
But look at Mind Control. He's in prime position.
They do have the Moonlight, though, to try and close the gap, and here we have it. Revealing themselves onto Mind Control. Zai trying to get in a position for an Overgrowth if any sort of response comes through, and here it has. Miracle with the Tornado, EMP and Meteor. GH coming in with a 3-man Echo Slam, catching the backliners of Evil Genius. It's Universe. the vacuum wall. The Starstorm combo from Samael will bring down only a CM as Liquid just clean up. Blink Fort from Miracle as they find Arteezy. Crit to be taken down as well as the triple kill is there. And the patience and positioning from GH there in that fight, ready to jump in and just make sure that EG could not follow through on the commitment onto the Bristle. What an echo.
I cannot imagine EG's disappointment when they saw Bristleback as a target. They would have loved to get Shaker, Invoker, Lycan, pretty much anybody but Bristleback. Did you see how little damage he took?
I mean, I don't think he took any. Look at how grouped up they are on GH. Bam! No holding back. Straight in. Sees the opening and abuses it beautifully. And at this point, Samael jumping in with that damage with the Aghanims. It's just not enough with the BKB up on the Lycan. Kuroki tanking one for the team there. And now here we have again Liquid ready for the push. Of course, last fight, there wasn't a chaotic offering. It was still unavailable. And even if it wasn't, there would have been no chance for him to drop it. So Crit does have that for this high ground defense. No ball. We'll see how much Liquid care about that, though, as Mind Control straight up forces out the fortification. Miracle with the cheese ready for this fight. Aegis, of course, on Bristle. And how do they stop this? Looks like they may be able to bring him down the once, and indeed they will. So Aegis is popped. Again with the living armor there, making sure that it is very slow for Liquid to siege in, especially Matuma, you know, he doesn't want to commit himself to hitting the racks. They're comfortable with trying for this slow siege with just Mind Control working away on the structures. Arrow will catch him.
Right now, though, he can't really out DPS the living armor. So what are Liquid going to do now? They just lost the Aegis for very little gain. But all three of their lanes looking relatively okay, I suppose.
I like this little smoke up here behind Bristle. They know that EG's put that wall down, has that vision. They want to try and work around it. Kuroki getting some high ground for themselves. Will be immediately dewarded. GH jumping in with a Fisher. Crit taken down by a Sunstray. Has to buy back. They need the chance for a chaotic offering if they want to have any hope of holding off this fight. Matuma Man moves forward with the BKB, but he will be rooted up the wall. In fact, the illusion just ripping him to pieces, but he will be kept alive. Backs away, will survive that initial jump. There's the vacuum onto 2, but there's no follow.
Made that look like an easy breezy 2-1.
What a series. So far, as I said, it really was the worries that the panel had being very, very obvious here in this draft and in this game. It just, EG, what went wrong for them, do you feel? I mean, they themselves must have felt confident with the picks. Did they expect something to go better in the early stages? Was a lane lost that shouldn't have been?
Maybe they didn't expect the lane matches coming out from them. I don't think which just worked wonders for Liquid's early. I also don't think they expected Earthshaker to win all three lanes for them and stack coordinations. So the thing about the draft from Liquid, though, they keep banning out the puck. I think if you ban out the puck, you're also banning out the Drow Ranger because it's just not effective if you don't have a Ranger in the off lane. It's very difficult to pull off, and you have to play exceedingly well or be against a much lesser opponent.
Wow, there we have it. 2-1 now for Liquid here. One game away from sealing the deal in this Epicenter Grand Finals. Can they do it, or can EG come back again like they came back after Game 1? We'll find out very shortly in Game 4. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from me and Ben until the next game. But for now, back to the panel and Alex.
Liquid bringing the heat as they